The other thing I wanted to ask you about in the work that you do, and we touched on it a second ago in terms of, men's difficulty as a society that they aren't encouraged to express other emotions outside of anger. How do you see that impacting men's mental health? And because I know that probably contributes hugely to suicide being such a huge issue for men under 30, is it?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, the leading cause of death for men under 45 is suicide, and the rates of suicide in men versus women is much higher. I mean, it's multiple times higher.
Yeah.
And often we talk about, what's the difference? Yes, there are differences biologically and genetically between men and women. We know that in the way they express. So we have our genotype, which is our genes and the coding, and then the phenotype is our expression of those genes. Like, men appear differently, have masculine features, the testosterone has its effect on the body, and I think there are impacts of that. But largely, a lot of what the issue is with regards to mental health and suicide is how we culture boys and how society shapes them. Society craves men. Society craves men to speak, but we train them to be silent. We train them to be quiet, as in keep the sadness within you. Think of the words that we use as boys growing up: man up, be tough, be strong. All these words are about being, keeping the emotion in. Girls and women they talk about emotions, they're much more open. Like, I've seen it, especially because I've been interested in this space. I watch like women and how they interact and how men interact, what men talk about versus what women talk about, and it's completely different. Even like the girls that work with me, and I often talk with them about this topic, and they're like, it's just crazy, like how their boyfriends will talk to each other versus how the girls will talk to each other, and what they talk about. Like, the girls will often, this is obviously stereotyping to an extent, but it is to try and highlight what we are seeing on a kind of macro level, is that men just generally don't talk as much about problems. They keep it inwardly. Women, on a general level, seem to kind of communicate about those problems more. And I think a lot of that is about how we bring people up.